Let's go Dolphins! I don't know about you, but I'm super excited for the 2025 draft. Recent mock drafts from highly respected analysts, including Dane Brugler of The Athletic and Jordan Reed of ESPN, have offered some intriguing possibilities for the Dolphins selections. With the 13th overall pick, Miami has the opportunity to make a big splash, and two different mock drafts have presented two very different scenarios. Let's dive into them and analyze what they could mean for the Dolphins' future. Before you go any further, make sure you've hit the like button if you're a true Miami Dolphins fan. If possible, comment something like this: "The Miami Dolphins are dear to my heart. Go Fins!" Now let's get to the point. Dane Brugler's latest mock draft has Miami selecting Nick Emmanwori, the standout safety from South Carolina. This is a pick that has generated a lot of discussion among analysts and fans alike. Emmanwori is a freak athlete, and his performance at the NFL Combine only solidified his status as a first-round talent. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches and weighing 220 pounds, he posted a jaw-dropping 4.38-second 40-yard dash, a 43-inch vertical jump, and a near-perfect relative athletic score, RAS. Simply put, if you were designing a prototype safety in a lab, it would probably look a lot like Nick Emmanwori. But this pick isn't just about athleticism. Emmanwori has been an incredibly productive player for South Carolina, registering 6 career interceptions and consistently showing his ability as a downhill tackler. In coverage last season, he allowed just a 60% completion rate with 4 interceptions and no touchdowns surrendered. That's elite-level production from a safety prospect. The big question surrounding this pick is how it fits into Miami's current defensive structure. The Dolphins are looking for a replacement for Javon Holland, and there are 3 major names being discussed: Emmanwori, Malaki Starks, and Jalen Barron. Each of these players brings something different to the table. Starks has elite versatility, playing both free and strong safety as well as in the slot. Barron is more of a hybrid defensive back who can play nickel, outside corner, or safety. Emmanwori, however, is a pure strong safety, a physical enforcer who thrives in run support and short area coverage. Would Miami take Emmanwori over Starks if both were available at pick 13? It's hard to say. Brugler ranked Emmanwori higher than Starks even before the Combine, and after his jaw-dropping performance, his stock has only risen. However, Starks has long been considered one of the best safety prospects in the class, and his slide in some mock drafts has been surprising. One alternative strategy Miami could pursue is targeting the trenches with their first pick and then trading back into the first round for a defensive back. The Dolphins have an incredible 10 draft picks, including 2 fourth-rounders and 2 fifth-rounders. If they opt for an offensive lineman like Will Campbell or a defensive lineman like Derek Harmon at 13, they could package picks to move back into the late first round to grab a falling defensive back. This would allow them to fill multiple needs with high-impact players while also securing that all-important fifth-year rookie contract option. And that brings us to the ESPN mock draft from Jordan Reed, which presents a completely different scenario for Miami. In this mock, the Dolphins land a dream selection at number 13, LSU offensive tackle Will Campbell. This is a name that should excite Dolphins fans. Campbell has been widely regarded as one of the top offensive linemen in the draft, and while his combined performance wasn't as eye-popping as Emmanwori's, he still tested as a highly athletic player with strong movement skills. However, the one knock on Campbell is his arm length. At just 32.5 inches, his arms are shorter than the traditional NFL tackle threshold of 34 inches, which has led some scouts to project him as a guard rather than a tackle. That arm length concern could be the key factor that allows him to slip to Miami at 13. Some teams may view him strictly as an interior lineman, and guards are generally valued lower than tackles in the draft. If teams ahead of Miami are looking for true tackles with longer reach, Campbell could slide right into the Dolphins' lap. If that happens, this pick becomes an absolute no-brainer. Campbell was an 18-year-old true freshman starter at LSU, which is virtually unheard of at a program of that caliber. He's a plug-and-play talent who could instantly shore up Miami's offensive line. With the Dolphins prioritizing protection for Tua Tagovailoa and looking to improve their ground game, adding a mauler like Campbell would be an excellent move. But let's be realistic, there's no guarantee he'll be there at 13. Teams like the Chicago Bears, picking 10th, and the San Francisco 49ers, picking 11th, also have major needs along the offensive line. If either of them sees Campbell as a long-term starter, Miami may never get the chance to draft him. But if he's there, sprint to the podium, no hesitation. So what happens in the second round? In the ESPN mock, Miami addresses its secondary at pick number 48 by selecting Notre Dame safety Xavier Watts. This pick makes a lot of sense for the Dolphins if they don't grab a safety in the first round. Watts has been a highly productive player, particularly in pass coverage, where he posted a ridiculous 16 pass breakups and 6 interceptions last season. He's a ball hawk with great instincts, though there is a small caveat. Notre Dame's 2023 schedule wasn't exactly loaded with top-tier competition. Still, he proved he could make plays when given the opportunity. With names like Watts, Andrew Mukuba, Kevin Winston, and Jonas Sanker all projected as day 2 safeties, Miami could opt to wait until the second round to address their secondary. The question is, would you rather have a top-tier safety like Emenwari or Starks in the first round, or would you prefer to secure an elite offensive lineman like Campbell and then grab a safety on day 2? It's a fascinating debate, and the Dolphins have options. Chris Greer and the front office have the draft capital to be aggressive, whether that means trading up for a falling safety or staying put and selecting the best available player. If the Dolphins decide to go trenches first at 13, they should absolutely be looking to move back into the first round if a defensive back they love starts to slide. Now, I want to hear from you, Dolphins fans. Would you rather Miami go defense with their first pick, securing a potential star safety like Emenwari or Starks? Or do you want them to prioritize the offensive line with someone like Will Campbell and then go safety later in the draft? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's debate. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Dolphins draft coverage. The Miami Dolphins are heading into the NFL draft with a major opportunity to strengthen their roster and address key areas for the upcoming season. With the 13th overall pick, the team has several options on the table, and the latest mock drafts from respected analysts like Dane Brugler of The Athletic and Jordan Reed of ESPN have painted 2 very different scenarios for Miami. While one predicts a move to replace Javon Holland at safety, the other focuses on bolstering the offensive line to provide better protection for Tua Tagovailoa. The decisions made here could shape the team's future, and fans are eager to see which direction the Dolphins will take. One of the most talked about projections comes from Dane Brugler, who has the Dolphins selecting Nick Emenwari, a South Carolina safety who has been skyrocketing up draft boards. If there's one word to describe him, it's athleticism. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches, 220 pounds, he ran an eye-popping 4.38-second 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine while recording an insane 43-inch vertical jump and a near-perfect relative athletic score, RAS. This is a player who checks every physical box, but more importantly, he has on-field production to back it up. With 6 career interceptions, a 60% completion rate allowed in coverage, and 0 touchdowns surrendered in 2023, he has proven himself to be a legitimate playmaker on defense. The debate surrounding this pick is all about fit and philosophy. The Dolphins have other high-end safety options available, including Malachi Starks and Jalen Barron, each bringing a different skill set. Starks is a versatile defensive back who can play both safety positions and nickel corner, while Barron has experience as an outside corner and safety hybrid. Emenwari, on the other hand, is a pure strong safety, a physical enforcer who excels against the run and in short area coverage. The NFL draft is unpredictable, but one thing is clear, Miami is in a great position to improve its roster. Now it's your turn, Dolphins fans. What do you think Miami should do? Should they go all in on a defensive playmaker like Emenwari or Starks? Should they prioritize the trenches and take an offensive lineman like Campbell? Or should they trade down and collect more picks? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's hear your takes on the Dolphins draft strategy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more in-depth draft coverage as we get closer to the big day.